Hi everyone. This video is for Unit 4, which will be beginning tomorrow. Gotten some positive feedback on the videos that you guys have had, Units 1 through 3, even though I'm a little embarrassed sometimes to be making them. And to walking into the GIS lab and hear you guys using them. It's a little odd hearing my own voice sometimes when I walk into the classroom on a video, but I'm glad they're coming in handy. And I'm glad they seem to be working out okay. I think things have been going okay this semester. People have been coming in for help, which is good. And but so far, I think the class has gone better than I thought it would for teaching software like GIS online. But if anyone has any comments or would like to give me any feedback on the class so far, please send me an email on Moodle and I'll certainly take a look at them. I would welcome any feedback, positive or negative. The video for this unit, Unit 4, Unit 4 is going to cover, you're going to look at more closely vector and raster data. So just a few things to point out. Vector data is points, lines, and polygons. And raster data is data that is made up of cells. And you guys are going to take a look at some precipitation data for the United States in vector form, and then raster data, precipitation in raster form for the state of Texas. And you're going to compare the two and see what's similar and what's different. This is going to be a shorter video. I'm not going to put as much into this video, just to kind of see how you guys do and have progressed through Units 1 through 3. I'm going to try to not put so much into this video because by now I think you guys have, it seems like, have figured out a lot of this of how the software works now. But just a few things to point out. Let's see, with Unit 4 you're going to be asked to open up an MXD or an ArcMap project, which I'm going to give you when you download the data for Moodle, from Moodle. And a couple things to point out when you go ahead and open up this MXD project. So I'm going to go ahead and open ArcMap right now. So ArcMap is open. And the first thing the lab is going to want you to do is it's going to ask you to open up the Unit 4 MXD document. And the way it's going to have you do that, so this first window pops up when you open up ArcMap asking if you want to open up a project that you've already started. I'm just going to go ahead and close this. And the lab is going to ask you to go File, Open. It's going to have you open up a MXD document called Unit 4. And so I'm going to navigate, so I would have already went to Moodle like you guys would have, and there's going to be a data folder on there, and you're going to download that data folder from Moodle, and you're going to put it wherever you guys normally put it on your computer at home or on a jump drive or whatever, however you guys work it. Me personally, where I would put things would be on my C drive, so I'm going to navigate to the C drive. Geog 1100 because that's the class we're in, and here's my Unit 4 folder that I would have gotten from Moodle. And if I double click on that, and then inside the data folder, here's the Unit 4 MXD document. So I'm going to highlight that and click open. Now this is what I wanted to point out to you guys, and I did this on purpose just because this might be happening at home for you guys sometimes if you were to work on an ArcMap document in class or on another computer and then come home and work on it and open up the same map document. You may have gotten these red exclamation marks that you can see here in the table of contents, and I did this on purpose because I want you guys to know why it's doing this. So the reason we have these red exclamation marks is because the GIS software, ArcMap, does not know where these different pieces of data are located on your computer or your jump drive. So for some reason when I made this map, the data was located somewhere, like for what happens a lot of times with students is they will create a map document in the GIS lab and they'll use a jump drive and they'll plug the jump drive into the computer, and in the GIS room upstairs the jump drive will be, say, letter E. They do their thing, they make the map, they work on whatever the lab they're working on, save the map, take the jump drive out, go home and want to work on it, and they plug the jump drive in at home, and instead of the letter being for the jump drive E, maybe it's F or G. And so when that path changes of where the data is located, you get these red exclamation marks. It's really easy to fix though, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to do that. So just pick one of the files, and the nice thing is once you fix one, usually ArcMap automatically fixes everything else. Okay, so I'm just going to pick this weather station's shapefile here, and you can see it's got a red exclamation mark, again because the software doesn't know where this thing is located. I'm going to right click on this weather station's shapefile, go to Properties, go to the Source tab, and you can see that it, for whatever reason, it thinks that this shapefile is located on the C drive inside a temp folder, exercise 3, and then inside a data folder. Okay, I know that that is not where my data is stored, because when I downloaded the Unit 4 folder off of Moodle, I put it in C:"geog 1100 Unit 4. Okay, so it's a totally different file structure that we need to fix. Okay, the other thing you need to do is take note of what is the name of this shapefile. So you can see where it says feature class right here. The name of this shapefile is txweather_prj. So you need to remember that. Okay, so I'm going to cancel out of this. I'm going to left click on the red exclamation mark here, and then the Set Data Source window pops up. I'm going to go to my C drive, okay, geog 1100, Unit 4, Data, and here's all the shapefiles that are in that data folder that you guys would have saved off of Moodle. Alright, now remember which shapefile we were looking for. This particular one was called txweather_prj. Okay, so I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to click Add, and as you can see, when I fixed one of the shapefiles, it automatically was able to fix everything else. Okay, now what I'm going to do real quick is go File, Save, so that in case ArcMap crashes on me or whatever, I have a saved file. Okay, now if we were to right click on weather stations and go to Properties and hit the Source tab, look at how the file structure has changed. It no longer says C:"temp Unit 3, it says C:"geog 1100 Unit 4 Data, okay, which is where I have the data stored now. Alright, so I hope that made sense. This is what you're going to have to do when you open up the Unit 4 map document. You're going to get these red exclamation marks, and you're going to have to fix it just like what I did. And again, I did this on purpose in case this happens to you at home sometime and you get the red exclamation marks. You know it's not a big deal. It's just the GIS software doesn't know where the data is located, and you need to point it in the right location. Alright? So that's how you fix that. And again, email me, call me, whatever, if you have any questions on that. The other thing I want to point out in this particular map document, and the lab goes through this a little bit, but there's two what we call data frames in here. Okay, there is the Texas data frame, and you can see here Texas. This is the Texas data frame, and this is all of the information inside of the Texas data frame. And then we have another data frame called U.S. precipitation, and these are the two shapefiles inside the U.S. precipitation data frame. Right now, even though Texas is above U.S. precip, the U.S. precip data frame is activated, and you know it's activated because it's in black letters. You can see up here the Texas data frame is not in black letters, so it is not active. Now to switch between two data frames, it's really easy. You just right click on Texas, go to activate, and you can see here's the Texas data frame. Okay? You want to go back to the U.S. precipitation data frame, again right click, activate, you're back to the U.S. precipitation. Okay, so the cool thing, one of the neat things about ArcMap is you can have multiple maps in your ArcMap session, and this one has two of them, U.S. precip and Texas. And again, you just right click and activate to go between the two. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. If you want to add, the imagery to your maps, obviously feel free to go ahead and do that. For example, I could make the states hollow with a black outline, and I could hit the Add Data button, go to Add Base Map. And you can pick a different kind of base map, whatever you want to add. For me, I would just click on Imagery, click Add. And probably, since some of you have known at home, sometimes this takes a little while to add. But there it is. Maybe I'll make my outline of the states a different color. Maybe make my weather station dots a different color just so I can see them a little better. Okay. But there you go. Again, the world imagery was added to the U.S. precipitation data frame because it was the one that was active. Okay. Again, to go activate the Texas one, right-click Texas, go to Activate. You'll see it's just Texas. The world imagery isn't there because it was not active when I added the world imagery. If you want to add world imagery to the Texas one, that's fine. Just make it active. Again, add base data or add base map, and you can add in the world imagery if you want. Okay? So good luck with the lab. Again, call me, come in, see me, email me if you have any questions. This is kind of a fun lab. You deal with some real-world precipitation data. And then the second part of the lab, you deal with some rocks that slide across a dry lake bed, which is kind of interesting. So again, thanks everyone. Hopefully everything is going good. Email me with any questions or get a hold of me, and we will talk to you guys later. Thanks.